Hello. It's now day 5, very, very end of day 5 of the Booktubeathon. This is the third video I've posted this week, which means I've not been doing amazingly well, video challenge-wise, but I'm gonna try and catch up 2 of them. I'm not sure about the third one. I'm not a fan of the reenact video challenge. Like, it's fun to watch other people's, but I feel like it requires a level of energy that I just don't have. But I have done the dressing up theme one, although it's not really visible. I'm wearing a jacket and a t-shirt and my hair's down, and I'm pretending to be Reagan from Fangirl, and I did it for Instagram. So I'm doubling up my challenges. Reading-wise has gone a little bit better this past 2 days. So when I said on Tuesday I was still reading Further Tales of the City, on Wednesday I managed to finish that. I listened to the audiobook of it as I was driving home from London, which I'd never really done before. I hadn't really done audiobooks because usually being read to makes me sleepy, so I was worried that would make me tired, but I really needed to finish it. So I did that, and that worked quite well. And then I started The Names They Gave Us by Emery Lord at like, I don't know, 2 in the morning or something on Thursday morning. Got to like 80% of the way through the book, and then I put it on my bed, and word to the wise, don't have cats. Like, they're cute, but they fuck with you. One of my cats, well, my parents' cats, decided that peeing on my bed would be super helpful. Peed on the book. That was great. So I had to, like, emergency buy the Kindle edition and read it on my laptop. But I finished it, and I am considering that I read that in a day, and it checks off the read about a character who is very different from yourself, and it checks off by the book that you bought for the cover, because it turns out that that book's about a really Christian girl, and it just doesn't mention that on the blurb at all. Like, I feel like I probably wouldn't have bought it if I knew that it did that, which I guess is why they didn't include it, but, like, I actually really, really liked it. I think I've given it 4 stars on Goodreads. Like, I'll talk about why I liked it more at a different point. But I really enjoyed it. I quite like Emery Lord's stuff. I think this is the 3rd of her books that I've read. I think it's the 3rd. And now I'm reading Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. I'm reading the illustrated edition that he did with Chris Riddell. What I've read of it so far is weird but interesting. I'm not really sure where it's going. I'm a bit confused, but my partner has been bugging me to read it for like 2 years, so I am finally getting around to it. I stole their copy of it, so and yeah, it's going well. I haven't got into it like numbers wise as much as I would have liked to, and I'm working tomorrow for most of the day, and I think I'm going to switch up my TBR just because I still haven't read volume 5 of Saga, and it's really quick and I can read it outdoors, so I might do that after I finish work. We'll see if the weather holds out. And I might need to refresh myself as well. Like, I feel a bit bad, and I might not count them if I have to read the first 4 again. But, like, I forget what happens every time. Like, I remember vague bits, but there's so much detail in those comics that I feel like if I haven't read them one after the other, it's really confusing. So, yeah. But on to the challenges. As I said, I'm wearing Reagan-esque clothing. I don't think I'm going to do the reenacting because that would be effort, and 11:30 on a Friday night is not the time for effort in my world. But I do have today's challenge, the like reading list for a class challenge, and I decided that I would have a class on like child-parent relationships and how to communicate that relationship. And so I have a little pile of books. The first one being Saga Volume 1. Any of this series, really, I think, has a weird but important set of parent-child relationships. Like, there's obviously the main one of these two and their kid, but then there's also the bounty hunter and the little girl, and even, I can't remember anyone's names in this, but this guy and his parents. So, like, there's quite a few layers of how that relationship works in these comics. Next, I have Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale. This isn't centrally about parent-child, but it does come up in several different ways. The main character, Offred, her relationships before come into play quite a lot, and a lot of those are to do with, like, parent-child relationships that she has in flashback, and, like, how they affect her life now, kind of thing. I also have A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. I feel like everyone knows what this is about now, but, like, the layers of parent-child relationship in this just make you so sad. Especially because of the way that, like, he gets parented by his grandmother and by his dad, as well as by his mum. There's so much going on there, and I really, really like the relationship, like, how much detail you can look into with the grandmother in this book. So this is definitely on that list. Second Chance Summer by Morgan Matson, which is kind of half about, like, teen angst of relationships and friends and stuff, and half about a girl coping with her father's cancer. Fangirl, which, again, doesn't have, like, a primary focus on Kath's relationship with her dad, but does feature stuff there and has some interesting plot points. And then finally, Little Gold by Ali Rogers, which is centrally about a little girl, but does kind of, in several places, look at parenting and also relationships between children and adults who aren't their parents. So this would also be in there as well. That's my class. I feel like it would be really interesting and lots of fun. I also feel like, I don't know, I wouldn't want to do essays and stuff. We'd just sit around and have, like, discussions. It'd be mostly like a book club. But yeah, so thanks for watching. I really hope I will have a vlog tomorrow and on Sunday, but who knows? Maybe I'll be too tired. I am very tired now. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.